Good afternoon and welcome. This is the first classical concert of the Quincy Symphony Orchestra's 71st season, so welcome to our 2024-2025 season. We're very excited to have a couple of great pieces, both of them with composers that lived into the 1900s. So sometimes we consider that 20th century music might be modern and sometimes a little too contemporary as compared to some of the standards that we might know of Mozart, Beethoven, and Brahms. At the same time, the first piece that we're playing tonight, this afternoon, is Howard Hanson's Symphony No. 2, the Romantic Symphony, and it has soaring romantic lines. You'll hear our principal horn player with some beautiful themes, and I'm sure you'll enjoy that first piece. After intermission, we're playing a piece by another composer. He lived until 1934, and Howard Hanson, the first composer, lived until 1981. So the second piece by Elgar is called The Enigma Variations, and I'm not going to get into all the details because Yuichi has a teaching moment for us all, as you can well imagine. Well, you know, there's another thing that as we look at today's program and we think of composers coming into the 1900s. And, you know, although this is a very important day for us on the first classical concert today, on Sunday, November 3rd, tomorrow, Monday, November 4th, is an important day as well. We happen to know that back in 1929, there was a young lady who was born, and she serves on our hospitality committee, and I all want you to stand, if you would, Helen. And we want to wish you a happy 95th birthday. Today, Helen Warschauer is joined by her son, Jim, and his wife, and daughter, Lori, and her husband. And I want to welcome you all to the family here at Quincy Symphony Orchestra, and Helen has been a gem on our hospitality committee, welcoming everyone coming in. Happy birthday. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. You can talk back at us, okay? We're going to start off the concert with a work by an American composer, Howard Hanson. Just out of curiosity, how many of you have heard of this name? Okay, all right, so just very few. I'm not surprised. He was a great composer, and he was born of all places. Get this, a town called Wahoo, Nebraska. That's a real town, Wahoo. I think it's just outside of Omaha or something, all right?
And Hanson was, he had quite a long career in music, and he was the head of the Eastman School in Rochester, if you guys are familiar with that. That's a very famous music school. And anyway, this symphony of his is a stunning work, and since only a few of you know the name, I would imagine that probably most of you have never heard this piece, so we just thought we'd give you a little intro to it. All right, so we're going to play two themes from each of the three movements, so that, hopefully as you listen to it, you'll be able to say, oh yeah, okay, I recognize that, and it'll help you enjoy the piece. So here we go. It starts out with a slow introduction, and then there's this gorgeous theme. Exciting thing. Okay, and the horns. Now, here's a kind of more lyrical theme. This is also still in the first movement. Oh, by the way, I should have mentioned that this theme was actually used in the movie Alien. Okay, not where the monster comes out, but but this towards in the film credits. But it's a lovely theme. Isn't that gorgeous? All right. Now here's the second movement. Here's the opening of the second movement, and the theme is in the woodwind section. And so I'm asking the strings to play really quietly. Now here's another theme from the second movement, just a little broader and bigger. So far, beautiful themes, right? Okay, now here's the third movement. This is an exciting opening theme here. Okay, and then here's a lyrical theme. Good, so I hope that those little excerpts will give you a little anchor to the entire symphony. All right, so here we go. The Symphony Number 2, the Romantic Symphony by Howard Hanson, originally from Wahoo, Nebraska. So how did you enjoy that symphony by Howard Hanson? Wasn't that a gorgeous piece? Thank you. Now we're going to try something we've never done before. We're going to try a multimedia little experience on this next piece. Are you game? Are you ready? Okay. All right. So this is I think it's going to help out in this piece because it's about a 25-minute piece, 30 minutes. And it goes through a lot of changes, and if you don't know what's going on, it's like, well, there's something pretty here and something pretty there, but it doesn't quite make sense. So this is why we're trying it. So as you can see, Sir Edward Elgar is the composer. The name of the piece is Enigma Variations, and I love this quote, "To my friends pictured within." All right? So basically, he was hanging out one day after teaching. You know how composers are always struggling for money, okay? And he was teaching piano, he was very tired, he went home and he was doodling around on the piano. And his wife Alice said, "Oh, hey, that's kind of a nice tune, you know, you might be able to make something out of it." And that little tune is the basis of this piece. And we're just gonna, and then there's 14 variations, 13 close friends of his, all right? Each of the variations is a musical portrait of one of those friends. And then the finale is, of course, himself, okay? But we're going to just do a little demonstration for you, all right? So here's the theme that he was doodling around with that his wife said, "Hey, this is really nice." Here's the theme. We're going to play it in full. Now, the first variation is his wife, Alice. Okay, there she is right over here. And these are, all the words and quotes here are directed by Elgar himself. He actually published a booklet, and this is where these slides were made from. And he wrote little, you know, he had the photos included and he put little inscriptions, right? Romantic and delicate inspiration. We're just going to play a couple bars of the tune, the variation that depicts his wife. The next one is a pianist friend of his who apparently liked to doodle around on the piano to warm up. How many of you play the piano? Okay, so you know, he would play these little funny chromatic things, and so this is a variation about him. Kind of a funky variation, all right? The next one after that was whoops, let's see, that's correct, right? Whoops, yes, yeah. I have to conduct a talk and do slides. He was Richard Baxter Townsend, and he amongst other things, he liked to be an actor, right? And this is a depiction of his friend in a play. The next variation is William Meath Baker, country squire and scholar. And apparently he had a whole bunch of people over at his house. And he was trying to get them to do things and organize a day's events. And he's very kind of disheveled and frantic. And this is that. This variation depicts that. You can tell how frantic he is, all right? The next one is Richard Arnold. Some of you may be familiar with the English poet Matthew Arnold. He wrote some gorgeous poetry, and this is his son. And he had a lot of pianist friends, all right? Here we go. Sounds to me like he had a romantic soul, this guy. Right? The next one is Isabel Fenton, and she was a violist. Right? Violas are right over here. Right? And when you're a string player, one of the hard things to do is to cross strings. Right? And so she would have trouble with that, and he was trying to kind of depict that in the music. Here's how it sounds. I always tell people the violists are the smartest people in the orchestra. Okay. All right. Now the next variation is check out this guy. He was a struggling pianist. All right, and the strings will tell you that well, it's very hard to play this variation. All right, and it kind of depicts the problems he's having on the piano. Right. Okay, and then this next one is Winifred Norbury, and she apparently had a beautiful home, and she was a very gracious lady, and also had a kind of a sweet laugh. This one is a beautiful one. It's often played individually by itself, often at memorial services and things like that because it's so gorgeous. But basically, August Johannes Jaeger was a close friend of Elgar's, and he was Elgar's music publisher. Right? And this is a conversation that that Elgar and Jaeger had about the music of Beethoven. this next friend is Dora Penny, and apparently you can tell from the music she was very delightful, and apparently she had a slight stutter, and you can hear that in the woodwinds. The next one, do you see the bulldog there? Okay, so Dr. Sinclair was a very close friend of his who was an organist, and he had this bulldog. And this is a musical description of the bulldog running around close to a river and slipping into a river, okay, and then working its way out. All right, and apparently Sinclair said to Elgar, you know, I'd like to see you put that to music. All right, so you'll hear at the very beginning this where the dog is slipping into the river. Okay, I want to bark after that. All right, the next one is Basil Nevinson, and he was a cellist. And this is a musical portrait of him, and it starts off with a cello solo. This next one here, you see the little asterisks? Okay, this is all in the music. So we're not 100% sure that it's Lady Mary Lygon, but it was apparently an ex-girlfriend of his, and he's put her to music. All right, here's the beginning of this. And also in this movement, he puts a little quote by Mendelssohn about going far away, a little voyage. And Annie's going to just play a couple of bars of it for you so you can hear, but it's a direct quote by the music of Felix Mendelssohn. Listen to that, okay? Now the final variation is Elgar himself, and we're just going to play a couple bars of the opening of that. So, as we play this piece, we hope you will be able to hear in the music all these dear friends of his that he's contained in this piece. This is the Enigma Variations by Edward Elgar.